Next, Dr. Phil. Have you ever felt abused by the system? She says she found herself battered and in jail after a routine airport security check.
He slams my head against the table. My God, I'm getting beaten up.
She is mad as hell, and she's going to do something about it.
Suing is as American as the American Revolution.
To sue or not to sue? Find out how fuming consumers are fighting back. This just seems crazy to me. This is our security for the Dr. Phil show, but what happens when a security officer wants to search you or your bags more thoroughly? Have you ever been detained or worse, arrested? That's what happened to one of my guests today. She is a New York marketing executive who says she found herself battered, bruised, and in jail after a routine airport security check. She is mad as hell, and she's going to do something about it. That's our show today. So let's do that. Robin says she was blindsided by officers when she mistakenly went through an airport security with a bottle of eye contact solution. Robin says she was beaten so badly she actually wondered if she was going to die. Her ordeal was caught on tape. Look at this.
I just felt myself flying across the room. I thought I was going to die. I was flying from D.C. back home to New York. I got to the TSA screening, and they x-rayed my bag, and they said, oh, she's got a bottle. And I said, oh, that's just my contact lens solution. Feel free to throw it out. And then they took me to the secondary screening area. The officer came from behind, picked me up, and threw me across the room into another passenger and into a metal chair. And then he took my arm and he started twisting it around till I felt it breaking. And I go, oh my God, you're breaking my arm. Then he picked me up, threw me against a metal table. There were 3 officers beating me up. There were 2 holding me down while he smashed my head into the table. I didn't know who was beating me up or why. I just kept saying, get off of me, get off of me, get off of me. He gave me a concussion from hitting my head against the table. It's a permanent traumatic brain injury. I used to be pretty intelligent. I used to pride myself on my ability to write now. I don't remember, and it's embarrassing. Going to the airport now, I'm afraid of being beat up by security again. It scares me to death.
Now, this just seems crazy to me. What, you had a bottle of contact solution?
Yes.
What did you say? Did you make a threat? Did you say,
no,
that's nitroglycerin, or I have a gun or a bomb?
No.
Or what did you say?
I said, oh, that's my contact lens solution. Feel free to throw it out.
Come on, that doesn't make sense. What happened? Did you get frustrated? Did you get irritated? Were they rude to you?
No.
What happened?
I was just having a conversation with the TSA screener who was searching my bag.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, the police officer grabs me from behind, throws me across the room into a metal chair and into another passenger. Then he picks me up and throws me against the table. And then he uses his forearm to my head and slams my head against the table.
Something that really bothered me about this is if you look at this whole tape, before he throws you to the ground, it looks to me like he's getting agitated. He's back behind you. He's not even talking to you.
I would
but
say
he's putting his hands up in the air. He's doing air quotes to the police. He starts to get into an agitated posture.
Yes.
But he wasn't even talking to you.
Yeah.
Why is that? Do you have any sense of why that happened?
I have no idea.
Here's where Robin was thrown into another woman and hit the floor. You're thrown back into her, and it knocks her completely out of her chair. I would think she's got whiplash. And then you're on the ground. What were they saying to you at the time?
They weren't saying anything while they were beating me. I didn't even know I was being beat up at first. I kind of felt myself flying across the room. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm on the floor and I'm looking up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting beaten up.
Yeah, because you got grabbed from behind.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
Okay, well, let's look at where Robin says they smashed her head into the metal table. So why you? I mean, you didn't say anything to agitate them?
No.
You weren't... You weren't resisting. It's apparent that you weren't resisting on the tape to me. I mean, all I can do is everybody make up their own mind about what they see. Why you? Why do you think they chose to do this?
They probably chose me because I don't look like the type of person that would fight back. I feel like if I were a man or if I were with my boyfriend, if I weren't traveling alone, they wouldn't have done this to me.
All right. You're suing these people?
Yes.
For $10 million?
I think so.
And, well, you think so?
Yeah, I didn't pick the figure.
Okay,
if you want to talk about the figure, my lawyer's in the audience. You could talk to him.
Okay, this is your lawyer. And tell us your name.
Alan Silman.
Okay, and what's the cause of action that you're bringing against these people?
We have assault and battery, malicious prosecution, false arrest, and gross and willful and wanton negligence. And
you were hurt.
Yes.
I mean, we have pictures of the bruises that you sustained that day. I mean, this was no, like, passing thing. These are, you don't like looking at those, do you?
I had black and blue marks all over my body. When I went to the neurologist about my concussion, he said, I see handprint in your arm in black and blue. The officer's handprints were in my arms.
Here's a guy who's seen it all when it comes to air travel from hell and then some. NBC's Today Show travel correspondent Peter Greenberg. Peter, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Bill.
Also joining us today via satellite is Ralph Nader, 2008 independent candidate for president and longtime consumer advocate. Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Phil.
Good to see you. You've been watching what's happened so far. I want to ask both of you guys. Let me start with you, Peter. Sure. What in the world is going on here? Who are these security folks? What do we know about them? What's their training? What's their background? Who are they?
Well, the biggest problem with the TSA is that the people who are on the front lines are given the least ability to think. It's all, if the fish stinks from the head, that's the problem here.
Ralph, let me ask you, you've seen the tape. You saw what happened to her. What in the world's happening to the American aviation consumer here?
Well, we shouldn't overgeneralize. TSA personnel are usually very professional, and they got a serious job. But once in a while, they spin out of control. Maybe some of them are frustrated wrestlers. And when that happens, and you get damage to the passenger, and you get all kinds of abusive process and other things that the attorney just pointed out, it's very important to sue these authorities and to sue these people. Suing is as American as the American Revolution against King George III, where they made a big deal out of the right to go to court and the right to have a trial by jury.
Okay, and you are suing, and your lawyer is here. Now, was this TSA or was this airport security?
No, it wasn't. It was neither. The Washington Metropolitan Airports Authority, that run Reagan and Dulles, have their own police department. It was those police who
Okay, so
did
this
that.
wasn't TSA.
It was not.
So this,
But it actually happened at the TSA checkpoint.
It did happen at the TSA checkpoint, but the three officers who grabbed Robin and beat Robin were all police officers from the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority Police.
How in the world in America can somebody imprison me or anybody else on an airplane, and why are we in a state where they can grab this wonderful lady here and fling her to the ground and everybody just steps over her? They didn't even flinch when they threw her to the ground. Airports Authority declined to appear on the show, but they did say that according to their standards, the officer's behavior in this incident was acceptable behavior. They claim Robin was not cooperating with the security procedures and interfering with the screening process. They cannot discuss the lawsuit at this time, but we can, so we are. And that was mine. They didn't say that. I said that. We can discuss it. And